know a lot of people have reached out to me to play this video too of comedian Dave Smith giving his thoughts on RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, and the rest of the Trump administration. So let's go ahead and play this video.
Couldn't imagine Director of National Intelligence was going to be being better than Tulsi Gabbard, head of the FBI being better than Kash Patel, or the health secretary being better than Bobby Kennedy. You got Tulsi cheering on leveling an apartment building. Missile guy back to his apartment building where his girlfriend lives. So we leveled the building, and she's sending like thumbs up emojis. You got every time I hear from Kash Patel lately, it's never about the criminals in government anymore. I was on a goddamn media tour for 2 years. Everything he ever said was that there's all these criminals in the FBI. Gotta get these people who committed all these heinous crimes against our republic. Not talking about that anymore today. And Bobby Kennedy is out fighting the real health crisis, which is anti-Semitism. Looking around the administration at this point, I think we got the positives out of Donald Trump that we would get, but man, this all just points in such a bad direction. I knew I would be disappointed, but it is on the level of a Greek tragedy that these guys had this mandate and this opportunity, and they're just fucking it all up.
We're going to pause here. All right. Never put your faith and stock into politicians. Now, I learned that lesson way early on. And you know what the thing is? I learned that even after the point of in 2018 with Bernie, after the Bernie Sanders campaign. But see, the thing is, it wasn't about Bernie. It was in 2020 where it's like, oh, okay, stop doing it. But you know, I learned that lesson. And you would think it would resonate more, especially because, hey, maybe I was all hyped up for the Bernie Sanders campaign in 2020. As soon as he started calling Joe his good friend, I saw, oh boy, here we go. Here we go again. It is easy to jump on board the train that has so much momentum. It is easy for people to become blindsided and automatically trust that, oh, we're being led down the right way. Oh, this is the correct path. And yes, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., I get it, Kash Patel. These are names that have a lot of following on social media. But you got to remember that they're people. People who are horribly flawed. People who have made errors. People who have made mistakes. And the thing is, if anyone was expecting the Trump administration to be different, why? What on earth were you hoping for with this administration? What were you expecting would change with this administration? What were you considering would go down? This is coming to terms, and I'm not going to sit here and say I told you so, because I don't believe in that. But I will say, if you constantly think that the next administration or this next senator or this next representative will be different, yeah, there might be some things different, but there are other things that just don't change. The Signalgate thing, revealed that, first of all, I think J.D. Vance was the only one really saying, I don't see the incentive or benefit for us doing these bombings in Yemen, which, by the way, Donald Trump recently posted an image on his social media account, and I can't play it here, of a bomb hitting a group of alleged, Houthis, right? However, reports are coming out indicating that that was how tribal meetings are done, and that was not the correct target at all. Is there going to be any commentary from the Trump administration, be it from Tulsi, Trump himself? No, probably not. I want to play this again one more time. So just so all of you understand, you have to come to terms, especially if you have a large social media platform. And that's something that we here at Hardlands Media, we do strive every single day to hold every single person accountable. Now, yes, I said if a politician's doing something right, I'll acknowledge it. A broken clock can be right twice a day. For example, yes, I've said some good things about AOC or Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar, and even of some Republican lawmakers like Representative Thomas Macy, or either that when he was on the campaign calling out Joe Biden for all of his failures. Yes, I will say these things, but for the vast majority of the time, these politicians are always wrong. If somebody says something right and correct, yes, I will expand on it further, but I always give that warning. Don't trust these politicians.
Couldn't imagine Director of National Intelligence was going to be being better than Tulsi Gabbard, head of the FBI being better than Kash Patel, or the health secretary being better than Bobby Kennedy. You got Tulsi cheering on leveling an apartment building. Missile guy back to his apartment building where his girlfriend lives. So we leveled the building, and she's sending like thumbs up emojis. You got every time I hear from Kash Patel lately, It's never about the criminals in government anymore. He was on a goddamn media tour for 2 years. Everything he ever said was that there's all these criminals in the FBI. Gotta get these people who committed all these heinous crimes against our republic. Not talking about that anymore today. And Bobby Kennedy is out fighting the real health crisis, which is anti-Semitism. Looking around the administration at this point, I think we got the positives out of Donald Trump that we would get, but man, this all just points in such a bad direction. I knew I would be disappointed, but it is on the level of a Greek tragedy that these guys had this mandate and this opportunity, and they're just fucking it all up.
No, they have the mandate, and the mandate is more neoliberalism. The mandate is more corporatism. The mandate is follow the orders and shut up. You know, Tulsi's got her skeletons in her closet, and I got to tell you, you know, I remember giving this warning, you know, especially as the administration was being selected. I remember saying this very clear. But probably the best option for Tulsi and RFK Jr. is help set up the administration for Trump and then walk away. It's more beneficial to just walk away. You know, like how there were stories about Tucker Carlson or Joe Rogan running for president? On paper, it sounds good. I'm pretty sure, like, hey, wow, someone's asking them to run for president. Isn't that great? Isn't that grand? And, you know, on a lesser, on a smaller note, you know, I was asked by the Green Party, hey, would you consider running for office? I mean, that sounds great, but I think if you are a person on social media, if you do news and commentary and political analysis, your social responsibility is to inform your audience and be sure to use your platform to do good and make sure that your audience is educated in regards to how the corporate media is lying to them. Okay? And now Tulsi and RFK Jr. are in deep with it. You got Tulsi giving thumbs up for, I guess, a bombing that the bombings that are happening in Yemen. You got RFK Jr. Look, some of the stories surrounding this man, I gotta say, how did this happen? It's almost out of a dark comedy at this point. I would never expect it, and none of that was on my bingo card. But this administration has a lot to answer for. And I know there were a lot of people who did have a chance to interview Donald Trump, or people who were part of his campaign and were either on board with it or believing in the hype. I mean, we all saw Donald Trump go to UFC fights where people were cheering him on during the 2024 election cycle. Kid Rock was there. Joe Rogan was there. Tucker Carlson was there. I think even Tulsi Gabbard attended one or two of them too. And yes, there's that momentum, that huge rally. Everyone was happy. But see, that's the campaign. A campaign running for office is like a popularity contest. It's like what you see in high school, running for class president. Okay? It's about who's more popular. Or is it at who's more popular with the donors? You don't have a seat at the table. And while this might look like a dream team for a lot of people, because, you know, Democrats also had their dream team moments, it's not the dream team for the people. It's the dream team for the establishment. It's the dream team for the corporations. It's the dream team for Wall Street. It's not your team. It's their team. And you don't matter. If this is hurtful, especially to anyone across the political spectrum, you have to come to terms with this. They don't like you. They don't think about you. They don't respect you. Has anything really changed right now? And the way this economy is going, the way the stock markets are crashing, the way everything is still uncertain, the way we still have these ridiculous wars happening overseas, either us being involved or proxy wars. You know, there's a clock that's ticking. Don't hero worship these politicians. They're not the knight on the hill that's going to save you. We're the ones that we've been waiting for.